In this video, I'm going to share with you the pros and cons of working as a courier for JustEat. So the pros, firstly, you get to be outside, you get to meet people, you get to be active. However, the downsides, in my opinion, are the following. You have to deal with air and noise pollution. So when you're in traffic, all the smoke, and also the constant noise from the traffic, from the crowd, which can get very stressful. The unpredictability of the British weather. So some days it might be cold and icy. Other day it might be very rainy. Especially in the winter, it's very unpredictable and can cause a lot of anguish and distress. And it's also dangerous. So if you're delivering when it's icy in the road, particularly in the mornings, there's a high probability, a high risk that you can slip in certain areas. So you have to be mindful of that and take the necessary prudence and precautions when you're out on the road. I mean, it happened to me a couple of times. I was slipped and I really hurt myself. Another one is obviously the danger of the traffic, particularly in congested areas, but also in residential areas. There's some rogue drivers out there, and particularly during the evening and night when there's low visibility. And if you're cycling, you're more at risk of being hit by a car. And also, I once had someone who was coming from the wrong way, so luckily I was able to see that and avoid a full impact. So you gotta be careful. Some drivers out there are dangerous and can put your life in danger. And another one is obviously difficulty in finding addresses. So some people don't. Sometimes the app doesn't lead you to the exact spot where the location of the person is, or you might have to climb upstairs. And again, when it's icy, you have to be careful as well because you can slip. Obviously, there's an uncertainty of earnings. You don't know how many orders you're gonna get in any given day. So the earning potential is very volatile. Some days you can be extremely busy and very productive within an hour. Other days it's very quiet and you're just out on the streets waiting and becoming impatient because there's no order coming through. And also there's no help with the maintenance of your bike, for example. So you have to shell out all the costs of that yourself. The delivery fees can be very low unless there's a bonus going on. And also, you have no holiday or sick pay, so you have to bear that in mind. And the pros, the only thing that I can think of is I enjoyed cycling. I enjoy being outdoors and meeting people, and that was pretty much it. And finally, I would say another downside was the surly staff. That sometimes it looked like they were not really interested in prioritizing you or your orders, so you would have to sometimes wait more than it was necessary to get your order. But let me know your experience and what you think of being a courier for one of the three major delivery companies, whether it's JustEat, Deliveroo, or Uber. How you are finding experience, and do you agree that the job has more downsides than upsides? Let me know in the comments.